In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet. Kugan Cassius, IFLTV. Parker and Wardley just about to step on the scales. I'm joined by Mike Ridout of DAZN. All right, mate?
Very good, thank you, mate. Good to see you. How are you?
Wonderful. Great turnout here at the market, Spitalfields Market. Yeah, just waiting for everyone to come on.
Yeah, really good turnout. And, you know, big fight. Great turnout yesterday, actually. The press conference was packed in there. The guys, I think, are really getting into fight week mode. A couple of months ago when the event announcement press conference took place, a little bit more chill, but you saw in their eyes yesterday, these guys are ready for a proper fight on Saturday.
We kind of got used to having regular fights at the O2, and then we kind of didn't, and they're quite spaced out too long. So to come back to the O2 is good. Everyone loves the O2 for boxing.
Definitely. Amazing venue, good crowd in there, good noise. The fighters really like it. Fabio was talking on stage yesterday about how much he loves fighting at the O2. And Joe's going into the backyard, right? He's fought a lot over here, but Fabio with a home crowd, hopefully that spurs him on a little bit more and we can have a really, really good competitive fight.
Right. Few people questioning why this is on DAZN pay-per-view, so I'll just give you the floor, Michael.
Well, look, we have to be flexible, both with our commercial agreements with the fighters and the promoters and ultimately our subscribers. We would love to not do pay-per-views, but then you're not going to see the best fights. Ultimately, these guys want to get paid as much as possible. We want to pay them as much as possible. I don't want to get in the ring and get punched in the face. These guys do an incredibly dangerous thing for our entertainment. They deserve every penny that they earn and that they get. And ultimately, that means that sometimes we have to do events on pay-per-view. This is the interim heavyweight champion against the interim heavyweight champion. These fights don't come around often. They could have sat on their butt and waited to fight Usyk when Usyk is ready, but they haven't done that. They've got in the ring, they're getting in there for our entertainment, and ultimately that costs a lot of money. And unfortunately, sometimes that means we have to do events on pay-per-view. The money that we generate from pay-per-view goes to the fighters. It doesn't come to us. All this money that comes in that hopefully the people pay for on Saturday night, it goes to the fighters. So you are supporting them in their journey to put on the best possible fights and ultimately, hopefully set up a really big fight for the winner against Usyk next year. Unfortunately, it has to happen. And we balance that up. The subscribers, I think, have had a great month and have got a couple of great months coming up. We've had Nathaniel Collins, we've had Dave Allen, we've had Boots. Coming up, we've got Ortiz, we've got Josh Buatsy's debut, we've got Ben Whittaker's debut. So look, it's a balance. We try and give as much value to the fans whilst also making sure that the best fights happen.
We have over probably a 10-year period seen the pay-per-view model change in terms of it was always about kind of the main event. Then, I mean, Hearn was putting on cards where it was about the card and you're buying the card as opposed to just the main event, etc. So is that model still in between those or is it changing again?
As I say, we've just got to be really flexible. It really depends. Putting cards together and putting schedules together is unbelievably complicated. It's not like a football season. When, you know, in Germany we've got the Bundesliga, in Italy we've got Serie A, in Spain we've got La Liga. We know that the season's going to start in August, it's going to end in May, every team's going to play home and away. When we start a partnership with these promoters, we allocate a central pot of money, but we can't tell from day one what fights are taking place, when they're taking place, where they're taking place. It's an ongoing communication between us and the promoters to put together the best schedule possible. And that means sometimes when we put together a fight like this, certain fighters are available and they get on the card. Other fights we want to do, the fighters may not be ready, or they may have been called to a mandatory with somewhere else, there might be a purse bid somewhere else, there might be another event down the line that they're fighting for, they might want to fight in a different city to sell more tickets. There are so many things that go into building a card, and sometimes you just got to roll with it. Look, you might look at this card and think these aren't the biggest names, but ultimately these are some really competitive fights on Saturday, and these are going to be some of the stars of the future. So you can't unfortunately have every week a Riyadh season card because there aren't enough fighters. Sometimes we've got to build for the next cycle of stars, and I think a lot of these guys are on the card on Saturday night. We're going to be seeing a lot more of them in the future, and I'm really excited about some of these fighters.
Right, we'll time check this. It is Friday, around 5 o'clock, so this will either go out tonight or first thing in the morning, obviously before tomorrow's fight. But there's rumours that fights, it's not rumours, Frank Warren told me that he's looking to announce something regarding his December card tomorrow night. We understand there's a lot of heavyweights that are going to be in attendance. We won't name them, but they will be in attendance. Do you know anything about whether Frank is going to announce that December 13th card tomorrow?
I know nothing about it, Koo. No, look, we've got it. Look, Frank's been very open about it. We've tried really, really hard to put a massive fight together on December 13th in Manchester, and we are still working on it. Hopefully by tomorrow night we're there. We might not be there, but what I can tell you is that the people fighting in that main event are very much likely to be there. So you've got to tune in, because something I think is going to happen tomorrow night, because in that room you are going to have the very, very best heavyweights in the Queensberry stable, including some people who have retired recently, and who may be coming back, you never know. So you've got to tune in and see what's going to happen, because I think something is going to go off tomorrow night, and that might be the final thing that gets us over the line to get the fight done in December.
We're assuming that card, if it's the names proposed and the people involved in that card, will be a pay-per-view card. Am I assuming right?
You've probably assumed correctly, but nothing's been agreed yet, so we're still working on that. But again, December, we've got some amazing events that are coming up in December as part of the subscription, and it's very likely there'll also be a pay-per-view card in December.
Fight night in Nigeria, where we were recently there. We'll see David Adelaide, Lawrence Okoli amongst others in action. There's also rumours of a match in Ghana card happening on the same weekend, so yeah, double bubble in Africa. Yeah,
look, we had a lot of fun in Nigeria. We really enjoyed working with those guys. We also did the show in Ghana actually previously, but that never made it to air due to some technical issues on their side. So look, it'll be good to have the show from Ghana on December 20th. It's a really exciting time for fighting in Africa. I heard Lawrence Okoli on TalkSport the other day listing off the heavyweight fighters who currently have kind of Nigerian roots. It's unbelievable. So it's a great time for boxing to hit Nigeria, and I think they're talking a really good game. So I think we're going to just see, you've seen the card in the first fight, it was a great card. This card, December 19th, is going to be even bigger. And you see, if that momentum carries on, who knows what we can see in 2026 in Nigeria.
And shout out Dr. Easy.
Love Dr. Easy, great guy.
Got great vision for that sport, isn't he?
Well, there's real passion.
I actually thought that was Chisora, I'm not going to lie. It's not Chisora, I thought it was. I thought that was Chisora.
It's a new job as security guard. You wouldn't put it past Derek, to be fair. Yeah, look, Dr. Easy and the team, they've done a great job. Mir Khan, shout out to Mir Khan, his vision as well. A lot of passion. So we'll see what happens there next year. But December 19th is going to be a really good show out there.
And can you promise us 2026 will be even bigger on DAZN than in the current year we're in?
I guarantee it, Cougs.
Don't promise it if you don't mean it.
I don't tell any lies. It's going to be a really cool year. And actually, it all starts really this weekend, because the winner of this fight then sets up for a massive fight. And even the loser, look, they're going to have some good fights to the head. That's a nice thing. But for the winner, it's a massive opportunity to ultimately fight for all the belts against the champ.
Michael, much appreciate your time. We will rejoin the rest of the way. And have you got anything else you'd like to add?
Not really, mate. Just enjoy the show on Saturday. I think it's going to be really good. And then straight off to Manchester for Boatsi's debut. So, good couple of weeks.
We will be there every step of the way.
Of course you will.
Including Africa.
Exactly. I'll see you there.
What's up, man? Sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. Register now for your share of the $250,000 prize pool. Multiple winners, bigger chances. TenexToken.io. Terms and conditions apply.